Many people ask the question, why should I vote? My vote does not matter. I'm here to tell you that your vote does in fact matter, and exactly why it matters. First, voting is your voice. In the past, minority groups had to rise up and fight for the right to vote. African Americans rose up during the Civil Rights Movement and fought for their right. In the mid-19th century, women had to fight for their rights also. The women's suffrage movement was nearly 100 years long, and it was a fight for women so that they were able to have rights. Now, unfortunately, only half of Americans choose to vote, says Few.org. After all the years of blood, pain, suffering our ancestors went through for the rights that they paved for our future, it's honestly disrespectful to not vote. We are also fortunate enough to live in a country that allows us to vote. We must take advantage on that. We have to take control of the changes that we want to see in our government. You can vote for the changes nationally or just in your community. Voting is an opportunity for change. If you don't agree with how the government is being ran, voting is your way to see the change. Voting can have a positive impact on not only your future, but everyone in the country's future also. If there's a problem that you feel passionately about, who you affect can be that solution. An example would be, if you feel passionately about climate change and pollution, you could vote for someone who also believes that those are huge problems. If you feel that it's your right to own a gun, or you even disagree and think that guns are dangerous, voting is your way to express your opinion. Another example would be if you're against taxes and think that maybe they should be lowered or maybe they shouldn't. Voting for someone with the same policies can be that change for you. Voting for someone who you think will make our country better is how you will see that positive change. Next, as a citizen of the United States, we have a duty to use our voice in order to make a change where it is necessary. In the United States, we are one of the only countries that allows their citizens to vote. We must take advantage of that before our right is taken away. Next, the money that you pay in taxes is the money that our government is deciding on. By voting, you are able to decide where the tax money is going and also how much is being taken away from you. Also, elections have consequences. The outcome of this election will affect us directly for the next 4 to 8 years and indirectly for the rest of our life. By not voting, you are allowing other people to decide your future without your say at all. Lastly, we must vote for those who cannot. By voting, you have the opportunity to help out thousands of people who have no voice. Voting will affect the outcome of people with a criminal background because if you have a felony, you're not able to vote. Immigrants who have immigrated here, they're not able to vote, and they have no say in their future. You must vote for African Americans who have lost their life at the hands of police brutality. You must vote for the Hispanic families who have been suffering in cages and separated from each other. You need to vote to save our planet. Earth has no voice, but yet politicians are still able to decide the future of our air, our oceans, our wildlife, and everything else that gets affected by pollution and climate change. You must vote for our elderly. The government decides on their healthcare prices, their retirement, and their Social Security. You must vote for the children who are under 18 and how their lives will be directly affected for the next 4 to 8 years. You must vote for women and how the government will affect the decisions they have on their own bodies. You must vote for your community. The government decides what gets fixed, how much funding the schools in your area receive, and the amount of businesses and jobs allowed in the area. You must vote to end the power the government has over the LGBTQ plus community and who they're allowed to love. You must vote to end sexism being normalized in our society by our president. You need to vote because the future of our country is in your hands. Thank you.